another commentary. Forgive me for like having to use kind of like shake Google to get the point across, but I want to jump right into this commentary real quick. I'll try to make it short as possible. I just want to do a little commentary. But one thing that dawned on me today while I was, which we call it, when I was having some downtime in the boxing gym, was that there is actually like a hadith. There's actually something about modern women that it kind of dawned on me that like, yo, they they really have this trait. And I think that's why maybe the wrath of Allah is on them. It's because they have this trait, and this trait is so apparent in them. Um, but there's a hadith that, Nelato alayhi salatu salam said. It came from Abu Huraira, where he said, Allah's apostle said, alayhi salatu salam, the worst of all mankind is the double-faced one, who comes to some people with one countenance and to others with another countenance. So, I mean, let's just compare that with like modern women. Like they'll come to Chad, Pookie, Ray Ray, and Tyrone in a certain type of way, not really expecting anything from them, right? But then when they get into like Kurt or Carlton or or let's just say maybe uh like I'm trying to think of another Jalen. Like they come to Jalen, um they expect the world from them. They expect the world from them. They expect them to roll out the red carpet from them. And also another thing too is when you look at how they deal with the sisterhood. you know so the boss babes, they'll be happy, they'll be okay, they'll be enjoying themselves, right? Like, oh, you go girl, use that man, come up, get the bag, and do all that stuff, right? But when it comes to the girl who wants to be traditional, which is very, very few of them in the West, they will trash that woman for wanting to be that traditional woman. You know what I mean? They'll trash her. They'll be like, well, um, you're a pick me. You're this, you're that. You know what I mean? Like they'll trash her. Um, and they have different energy for the ones who aren't trying to be traditional, trying to be settled down and things like that. But um, let's get into something that I want to get into about a woman. There's actually a couple of women that I found on TikTok that pretty much are two faced. Let's start with hold on. Let me just. I'm trying to focus on one for now. Hold on. Let me see. Okay. Let's just focus on one for now. Okay, let's look at this OnlyFans model real quick and let's see how two-faced this she is.
People want to frown upon people who do OnlyFans on the girls. All the focus is all the girls. The girls are, but no one's fucking taking a look at the men.
Okay, well, number one, you're choosing to do the OnlyFans. Like, nobody is forcing you to do OnlyFans. Okay? This is a conscious choice that you're making. It's also a man's conscious choice that he makes, that he's gonna pay for that service. You know what I mean? So with that being said, you can't even really talk. Like, why would you use that as a talking point? I don't get it, you know? I really don't get why you would use that as a talking point when when you're making a conscious decision to do it. Nobody's forcing you.
There's a demand for it for a reason. It's your dad, it's your uncle, it's your brother
I'm afraid it's not none of them. I don't know what gave you that idea.
who's looking at this content.
Okay, so what we're not going to do is pretend that OnlyFans 304s are essential workers. They're not providing a necessary good or service.
But yet they, unfortunately, bro, they think they are. They think they are by doing OnlyFans, that they're providing an essential service, an essential thing to society. That they're actually making society better by doing OnlyFans.
Okay, there's a demand for it. So the fuck what? That demand is by men who can't get sex in real life. Men that y'all wouldn't talk to or deal with in real life. What?
And that's another point. Talk about that in... I'm going to tell you guys something that came to my mind. Modern women rather be sugar babies before they deal with a regular guy. Okay? A guy can be wrinkled. A guy can be like out of shape. But if he's in seven figures, best believe that she would choose him over the guy who's in shape, who has his life together, who may be a six-figure guy. You best believe that. Hence why we have this OnlyFans phenomenon.
Nothing to do with these type of men in real life. But because they have a little bit of change and they want to throw it at you, and y'all have no morals, no integrity, and nothing else going for yourselves, to the point where you only see that your value lies in objectifying yourself online for a bunch of strangers that you...
So that in itself is pretty true as well, because when you look at like most women who claim that they are boss babe and stuff like that, most of that boss babe come from the OnlyFans. And then what they do is they just get an audience from OnlyFans. They get the audience, and then they just like do something else, which is not really like of great importance. They'll say, oh, well, my merch is coming out or something like that. But it's just like, again, okay, well, big deal, right? That's what they do.
know and wouldn't give a chance in real life, and y'all think that's commendable, you think that's respectable, you think that's admirable. I don't give a fuck how liberated the sexual movement gets. It's not attractive, it's not respectable, and it's not valuable. Imagine taking pride in being a copulatory sperm rag.
And that's the fact. Like, women actually take pride in that. Women take pride in like the Western. Here's the two-faced nature of a Western woman, okay? Let's look at the gym, for example. They go to the gym, they want to have attention from these guys, but then when they get attention that they seek from these guys, what they do is they complain and do all this other stuff. You know, it's just being two-faced. Now let's look at her. Let's see what she has to say.
A guy just came up to me, yeah, and the first thing he said to me is that, look, I know I don't have enough money to ask for your number, but I'm gonna ask anyway. And I was like, Omo, I've got a boyfriend. I've got a boyfriend because the first mistake you made was telling me that you ain't got money. Instead of you to trick me and pretend that you've got money, you told me from the beginning, you chose honesty, and for that reason, it's a no from me. It's a no from me.
You know when a woman...
So, the fact that a man said, hey, I'm down right now, This woman wanted him to actually lie and say that he was up. Okay? Which just shows you what they're attracted to. They're attracted to dysfunction. They're not attracted to consistency. It's too boring for them when things are consistent. Real talk. So this is where we're at with it. It's sad, but this is how it goes, man. This is how it goes.
Says, I wish men would just be upfront and honest from the start.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
She tells us that she would rather be tricked than told the truth, and that his first mistake was choosing honesty. So now, it should be clear to you men that there is no glory in being candid. Trick her and tell her what she wants to hear. Not because you're selfish, but this is what she wants. So hey.
So, in essence, like, I hate to say it, but... And I don't recommend dealing with Western women. I mean, this is my thing. I know it's hard, guys. Listen, I know it's hard to make that transition from Western women to getting the passport, going abroad, and doing what you have to do to lock down that traditional woman. I know it's difficult. It takes money. Hell yes, it does. But if you decide, okay, well, and I'm not encouraging this. Don't think I'm encouraging this. If you decide, okay, well, they're going to be this way, so I'm going to be this way. Then, I mean, by all means, play their game. And don't try to go for chivalry or anything of that sort, because in the long run it's not going to pay off. They're just going to be doing the same things that they are doing right now. So just like really keep it moving, don't bother, and just do that, man. Now, last but not least, this one takes the cake. In when you see the definition of Jezebel, just understand that she is like she surpasses being a Jezebel. Okay, so let's look at her. Let me see. Okay. Let's see.
I'm gonna need for y'all to stop chasing after men who are broke, men who are uneducated, men who are married. Oh, I wasn't just sleeping with, a married man. I wasn't just someone's mistress. We did some other freaking dicky sneaky shit.
The example of being two-faced, and I'm gonna tell y'all, the more women do this, the more of the wrath of Allah is gonna be upon them, like it is right now. I'm convinced that the wrath of Allah is on those women, but from what I see, the men, they're getting it together. Like the men, some men, some men fall by the wayside, and they do like they mess up and stuff like that. They do, like some do. I get it. But for the most part, most men are catching on, man. Most men are catching on. I will say that. Most men are catching on, and they're getting on with it. But let's continue.
Why? I was deeply in love, and I thought I was going to marry him. And
so she thought she was going to marry the married man. Okay.
Oh, he wasn't making all of these promises to be with me and that he was going to leave his wife.
Dear Jesus, the cap down here seems to be overwhelming.
So now you see that, but now let's look at what she has to say in other videos.
One thing men definitely have is the audacity. Listen, I may post some content that might be triggering to you, but as a black man, it is never an opportunity for you to insult me or assume you know my situation.
You just told us your situation a little while ago, that you basically slept with a married man.
So yes, I have 2 kids. But my daughter is 21 and she has an amazing father. And he's one of my closest friends. I've known him since high school.
And she's probably still getting her back blown out by him. Don't let it fool you.
And I just gave him legal guardianship over my 4-year-old son in the event that something happens to me. I tell people all of the time, just because you broke up with someone doesn't mean that your relationship was a failure. And it doesn't mean that you have to hate that person because you two are no longer in a relationship. And a lot of people think, well, you made a poor choice if you had a baby by a man who didn't marry you. When you guys have to understand something, just because a man decided not to marry me doesn't mean he decided to marry another woman or that something is wrong with me.
In essence, what she's kind of telling you right now is that just because, you know, she decided to mess with Pookie, and Pookie usually doesn't marry, that it's not her fault. That's what she's basically telling you.
Could be something wrong with that man and his choices that he wanted to make for his own life.
But then she's also not taking accountability for the man she chose as well. Figures as much.
So you guys have got to stop blaming women when men don't marry them or the relationship doesn't work out. You don't know what happened in the situation. Even though the relationship between my son's father and I didn't work out, I don't consider that relationship a failure because I had my son. And a lot of people don't understand how difficult it was for me to conceive for such a long time. When my son was born, it was a miracle to me. So that relationship with his father still isn't classified as failure to me. And I think people look at women who have children as if their children are some kind of burden or...
Duh! Yes, they're a burden. To a man who, for example, doesn't have kids and would like kids. Other people's kids are going to be a burden. Duh. What is she talking about?
Baggage or no.
They are, yes.
Absolutely love being a mom. I've always wanted to be a mom. Before my daughter was born, I wanted to be a mother.
Okay, so, but I'm pretty sure you didn't want to be a single mom, which you are right now. But let's continue.
And being as though I'm not a wife, it doesn't dim the light of how much of a great mother I am.
It does. And, you know, the fact that you have to say that you're a great mother kind of screams of narcissism, in my opinion. That's just my humble opinion. But it does.
To me, being a great mom is an accomplishment. I know some women out there who are only having children because they have a husband and their husband wants it.
Yeah. That's how it's supposed to be. Most of the time.
They just wanted to be a good wife.
And what is wrong with that?
Okay to want to be a good wife but not want to be a mother, or want to be a good mom and not want to be a wife. You know, that's just how life is sometimes. But I do want for black men to discontinue believing that because, you know, I didn't marry either one of my children's fathers, that there must be something wrong with me because I quote unquote made a poor choice in man.
Okay, you were in an affair with a married man. There is something wrong with you.
Nah, did it ever occur to y'all that these men made a poor choice by not marrying me? And honestly, I feel like both of them regret that.
Yeah, right. They're still getting they're still getting it on, probably with different scallywags. Okay, let's look at this one. Let's see what she has to say.
Like, y'all generalize women who give it up to you easy as hoes, right? That's what you call women who actually like you and want to have sex with you.
I mean, at the end of the day, like, if she's giving it up very quickly, like, obviously she feels the type of way. And if she's not giving it up very quickly and she's saying that she doesn't do anything like that, or I don't do this or I don't do that, then obviously she's showing her other side of the face, which is basically, I need to milk this guy.
Y'all generalize those women, or like y'all do single mothers. You want to pump and dump single mothers because you know they're not wife material, right?
I mean, duh. Like, I mean, I'm just being honest, duh.
Right? That's a generalization, sir. When I said that black men will cut their penis off before they hold another black man accountable, I meant what I said. I stand 10 toes in what I said. And most of the men who stitched the video of me saying that were absolute dusties. That's why y'all...
Okay, here we go. She's calling people dusties, but at the same time, not calling herself a homewrecker.
Bad because you guilty of the shit I'm saying y'all do. How many of y'all got a homeboy who a deadbeat dad? You know he don't take care of his kids, but you sit there and still be his homeboy. The reason why I made the video was because a man was complaining about how a woman was at fault for his homeboy shooting him. How in the world is a woman to blame for a man shooting his own friend?
Oh my God, you cannot make this shit up. Let me try to do her voice real quick. Hold on, just give me a minute. How is Jada to blame for Will slapping Chris Rock? How is the man who got his jugular slice, how is the woman to blame who didn't want to pay the full price for the bag of chips? How is me having to result into hand-to-hand combat and also firearms? How is a woman to blame who tried to have me set up on numerous occasions? I really ask a lot sometimes. I really do ask a lot sometimes. Do women think before they speak? I really want to know if they do. Seriously.
Women do not control men. We have no control over y'all. Y'all do what y'all want to do. But when you make a poor choice or one of your homies makes a poor choice for him,
you may not control it, but you gaslight it by dangling some kind of incentive over their head. Basically. Yeah, you go do this, I'll give you this. Or if you don't go do this, I won't give you this.
Y'all blame women. You lack the ability to control yourself. You let all other outside forces control how you respond to what you are observing and experiencing, but somehow that's a woman's fault? No, y'all make them choices on your own. Women cannot control y'all, because if we could control y'all, y'all would behave a lot better than you do.
Okay, that's a lie. It's a damn lie. Let's see what else this idiot has to say.
A lot of men be like, you can't teach your son how to be a man. Where's his father? And I'm like, apparently his father can't teach him how to be a man either.
Okay, and whose fault is that for choosing who to spread your legs to?
his ass would be around. He's not necessarily doing the manliest shit at the moment. He ain't even met our son. That $264 to $9 a month is doing what for my son?
Okay, well, again, this woman is so inconsistent, it's not even funny. I don't even know who she is. I just came across her TikTok because it notified me basically on this. But this woman is just very inconsistent. I swear to God. I swear to
Granted, I'm using it to buy my son some stock, but that's about it. I live in California. $264 a month is doing nothing.
Yeah, the fact that she lives in California, you know, may Allah protect me from running into her, because I'll run on the other side of the street. You know what I mean?
Oh, I can teach my son how to be a man. Oh, watch me now. Because the reason why a lot of you men are out of control is because you have a terrible relationship with your mama.
No, that's not the reason. And a lot of us are not out of control. A lot of us are doing pretty well for ourselves. A lot of us are doing what we need to do. But what we need to do is not good enough for you because you're too busy trying to be the Real Housewives of Los Angeles.
You do realize that good parenting is real. I can teach my son how to be a good person, how to be decent, how to be honest.
In essence, what she's telling us is that she's going to set up her son to basically be a pushover and to be used by women like her. That's what she's teaching her son.
Because that's who I am. I don't have to teach him about his gender. He born his gender.
Okay, she said that's who I am. So anytime someone says something like that, like I'm intelligent or I'm a good person, just understand that they are the opposite of that. You know, your actions show that you're a good person, and having an affair with a man is not a sign of a good person.
He a boy. I didn't suddenly become incompetent as far as parenting goes simply because a man decided to walk away. I was smart enough to take a child development class and parenting classes in high school and college. So I'm pretty dope with this parenting thing. I got this parenting thing under control. I encourage other mothers to take
Like hell you do.
classes. I'm not a perfect mother. And of course, I'm going to make mistakes just like every other mother. But the fundamentals of what it means to be a good person, just across the board, whether you're male or female, I can teach my son that. And I also have enough sense to move the hell out the way and allow some positive male influence in my son's life.
Which is not going to happen, because once you do get your beta cuck simp, he's not going to be able to teach your son to have a backbone. So stop it.
I get to teach him how to be a man by being selective about what man I choose to allow in our lives. Oh, I got this. My son gonna be just fine. Because I still have the memories of who his father was and then who his father ended up being. And I will make sure that my son does not end up anything like his deadbeat father.
So here you have a woman who basically trashes black men, but yet gets wet off that same black man in which she's trashing. I don't know how to make it make sense, but that's what they do. Being two-faced, right? See this.
And maybe you just have so much respect for family that you would have preferred to have a baby by someone that you've already had a baby with.
And let's just be honest, she's overweight as well. You know, she can try to catfish and try to change the angle of the camera and stuff like that. For me, I don't need to do that. You know what I mean? If you saw my face, if you saw me, I wouldn't need to change the angle. I wouldn't need to take my camera or do certain angles for that. What you see is what you get. You know what I mean?
I could get that, because when I think about my 4-year-old son, I'm like, I wish I would have had my 4-year-old son with my daughter's father, because my daughter is 21 and he's always been an amazing father. But my son's father is the biggest piece of shit I've ever met. I don't think I met.
Remember, guys, which one called him makes her wet. Pookie and Ray Ray make her wet. That's just the bottom line.
A man worse. What the fuck was I thinking? Where the fuck was my head at? Before you judge me for choosing an ain't shit dude to have a baby by, this man created a whole persona, a whole person to pretend to be just to get with me. Claimed he wanted to be married, wanted kids. We sitting here engaged, looking for a place. Common sense should have told me that was a recipe for a whole disaster. When I was on the phone with a wife, she's like, oh my God, I'm so glad he moved on. I'm in love with somebody else. Bitch was being too nice and was like throwing her husband at me. Lying? Only for her to want him back later on when she found out I was pregnant. Women do
So, in essence, she got pregnant by a married man, right? And, you know, she kind of, in essence, rubbed it in the wife's face.
strange things for strange reasons. I think my son was like a month old. She called me.
Yeah, being two-faced is one of the things that you guys do.
Congratulations on your baby. I was like, bitch, call me again. Call me one motherfucking more time. Didn't I tell you to stop fucking calling me? She was still fucking.
You hear how masculine she is? So ask yourself this question. If you're a guy, right? You're getting your life together. Your life is getting together day by day. Everything is going on the up. Your trajectory is looking up. Would you want to come to your house with that kind of, with that going on? You know, would you want to really come to your house with that? Is that, for example, is that like going to give you peace?
Him. He dumped me so he can keep fucking her. She was like, I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help. And then would get on social media and drag me and lie about me. I can't stand this. Women do some strange stuff. So I want to tell you ladies, when it comes to your children, be selective about what man you get pregnant by. And just because you want to have...
Okay, so again, the two-faced thing. She's trying to tell other women to be selective about the men they have kids with, but yet married man she had a kid with. Please make it make sense.
A baby doesn't mean the man that you're with wants one. It is men out here unaliving women when they get pregnant. A lot of these men don't want to be fathers and don't think for 2 minutes he's going to treat your children any better than he treats his other children. If he barely sees his other children, there's going to be a point in time when he finds another woman to be with.
So something just came to me. I don't know if I'm going to use these because the names are so long, but you know, because someone came up with Chad Chasers, I'm thinking for her, I'm going to call her a Pookie Pursuer and also call her a Ray Ray Rusher. You know what I mean? So with that being said, here on out, I'll just maybe use that now for to describe these women, which there are a lot of them on abundance on TikTok, and there's a lot on YouTube as well.
Where he's going to not treat your children well either. Why assist on continuing to make homes that are unstable where the fathers are not present?
Okay, and you destroyed a house though by sleeping with a married man. Very cute. Very, very cute. Okay, let me see. One more.
you single. That don't make no sense.
Has it occurred to y'all that I'm single for a reason? See, I'm not gonna get in a relationship.
Yeah, you have 2 kids. No guys are gonna jump at you for that.
With a man until I'm fully over my last one. I'd be rotten for a man right now. When I say I'm single, they're like,
Nah, you single because don't nobody want you.
And that's true. That's true.
have you seen me? I mean,
Yeah, you look like a water buffalo. What's your point? You know? Yeah, like there was this one TikTok where a woman was getting mad when people would call her a female. She got mad at that. I hate to say it, I'm gonna be honest. I use words worse than female if a woman crossed my path and she decides that she wants to try to flex and throw the masculine manhood on me and try to out muscle me in terms of being like masculine. I'll call her what I call this woman, like a water buffalo or a hippopotamus, basically. I don't think nothing of it either,
makeup or not, weave or not, I'm still a beautiful woman. And of course, men still come after me. Boys.
Because they want one thing, like that's the reason why men are coming after you. I'm pretty sure those men that you're talking about didn't even, ask to put a ring on it.
I will always be able to find someone to hook up with for the night. I don't have to be.
You heard that, right? So, in one instance, she's talking about like, okay, like I can get someone, but she's also talking about. So the two faces come at a collision here. On one instance, she's talking about how she's single and stuff like that. On another instance, she's talking about how basically the rooster carousel is calling, and the rooster carousel will always be calling.
Alone by myself at night. A man will easily hop up in my bed. Y'all are not hard to get, and you don't have the highest standards in the world.
Oh, well, Pookie and Ray Ray may not. Simp Carlton may not, but a God-fearing Muslim man, especially an African Muslim man, is going to have that. And that's the category I fall into. So if I saw you on the street, I would look the other way. I'm going to be honest with you. Everything that, including your face paint, screams red flag. Nothing screams, okay, this is a good match.
But when I tell y'all to have better standards, expect more from women,
It's like, nah, I just need her to look good.
Okay, so she said expect standards and go for better women. Yeah, at the same time, she's not that better woman that she's talking about because, again, I will reiterate, she had an affair with a married man. But there you go, two-faced woman. Like all of them are, most of them, But anyhow, man, that's all I got for now, guys. Y'all leave your thoughts and leave your comments. Fool is signing out. Unjarama.